Here we have the daily price chart for Bitcoin, cryptocurrency ticker BTC. This chart is in relation to the US dollar. Okay, so here, we if you're following Bitcoin and if you followed the prior videos that have posted on this, you would know that the stock is really trading under some very significant selling pressure here. For quite some time, we have been seeing the bears kind of take over here. And this really has been the case for about the last month, almost exactly 1 month. If we go back to June 7th, we can see that some highs are posted just below 72,000. I'm seeing 71,974. So we can call that 72,000. And as we can see here, this kind of completed a sequence of lower highs that were being posted following the all-time highs, which were posted during the middle of March. If you remember, these came in just below 74,000. So, we were seeing a succession here of lower highs, and this was really causing some concern here from a chart perspective anyway, suggesting that we really could be in store for some major declines lower. If you're following Bitcoin, you should know the Mt. Gox story. This is a cryptocurrency exchange that failed, and there are some fairly large payouts that are being made currently, and this has caused outflows, Bitcoin outflows of roughly $9 billion. That's billion with a B. So, this is a large amount of money. And the victim here really is Bitcoin prices. You could also say that the entire cryptocurrency space is now coming under pressure. Similar activities being seen in Ethereum, Solana, XRP, even DOGECOin. So the damage here has been fairly widespread. But it was largely predictable here. I mean, we really were seeing these series of lower highs here, and then once we break below certain critical price levels, the jury is in here. The downside it has clearly won out. And for me, this major line in the sand really came in at 56,500. The reason that I was pointing to this level in particular, there would be three main reasons. One would be the fact that it's the 50% retracement of this prior rally, which resulted in the all-time highs for Bitcoin, just below 74,000. So this area, number one, this area marked the 50% retracement. Number two, we had historical support zones which were found in this area. These would be posted on May 1st at 56,500. And then in addition to that, if we were to break below here, we would also be losing all moving average support essentially. The final kind of door holding things up would have been the 200-day exponential moving average, which is this blue line here. And then once this gives way, we don't have any more moving average support here to hold prices higher. So, the jury is really in here. I mean, we can try to deny it if we want, but there a lot of technical damage has been done to this chart, in a fairly short amount of time. So, currently, if we're trying to start to look for a game plan here, in my view, the dust has not settled at this point. This 56,500 break is a major break. I mean, it's not something that can just be ignored. You can't just kind of brush it off and just start buying willy nilly here because you'll really be setting yourself up for failure. Due to the fact that I'm expecting to see increased volatility here, possibly in both directions, but mostly to the downside. I mean, I do believe that most of the evidence here is continuing to point to the downside. And then when we look at trading volumes here, we can see that the bearish side of the market is currently winning out. I mean, we've got rising selling pressure here and very little buying activity that's going on, despite the fact that we're trading at lower levels. I mean, you might be able to make the argument, we were just trading at support relatively recently, such as this 56,500 level. For some of the market, that should have been viewed as a buying opportunity. We're trading at much lower levels. At least when compared to this $74,000 mark that was posted previously during March. So you would, to some extent, you would expect buyers to start stepping in here and buying at these lower levels. But as we can see in the trading volumes, that's just not the case. I mean, these buyers are not emerging. Like, where are they? They're nowhere to be found. They've got their heads in the sand or something. I don't know where they are. So currently, we do have to kind of assess the damage here and try to figure out what to do next. So at the moment, the ultimate price low that we're seeing posted here comes in at 53,499. So we can call this roughly 53,500. In other words, we've broken my major support zone by about $3,000. We have seen a little bit of a bounce here, but the action has been two ways. We've seen kind of two-way activity here. As we can see, there's this extremely volatile candle here with a long wick, followed by a little bit of buying, but followed by even more selling. I mean, this would be considered this red candle here would be considered to be a bearish engulfing pattern. That essentially means that the candle body itself engulfs and overcomes, is larger than the preceding bullish candle, and that is what we have here. So we've seen a bit of buying activity here. We've actually got a green candle for the day, but this came after a tremendous amount of selling pressure, where the ultimate low is posted at 54,278. So we've really lost this psychological level at 55,000. And that is cause for concern here going forward. If we pull out to the indicator reading just to kind of get a sense of where the true momentum lies, we can see here that things are still pointed in the downward direction. Yesterday, I was pointing to a little bit of an emerging pattern here that could be developing. If you're looking for the bullish argument, I mean, I would point to this area here because we are seeing a bit of a higher low condition in the daily relative strength index. But you have to compare this smaller line to this much larger line, and then you can see really where the majority of the momentum truly lies. I mean, we would really need to see this indicator reading move back up to roughly 65 before we can really expect to see an end to this downside price momentum here. So it's going to take a bit of work to get there, and I'm just really not expecting it anytime soon. I just don't see any support levels in this nearby area. To the downside, the first level that I am kind of watching here does come in at 51,860. This is the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of this broader move. We have a little bit of a consolidation zone here too, as well, sort of supporting that area. And I do like to see, a couple of things agreeing with one another before I start to point to a specific price level. But you have to remember, we don't have any moving average support at this point. And the historical price zones in this area are relatively limited. So at the moment, I'm expecting to see a drop below 52,000 before we start to see evidence of a stabilization in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency ticker BTC.